All right, howdy and welcome everybody. I am Mike with Board Games for One. You already know me, and this is Ben over here, Board Game Dad, and Ben is going to be teaching me how to play Ark Nova. So welcome and join us for the disaster.
Hardly. I looked at more videos. You know most of the base rules. You know most of the base rules.
Real quick, so in order to win the game, the goal is and correct me if I'm wrong on it, is there are these two tracks that we are both advancing like victory points. We've got the ticket track, and I forget what that's called, but
Conservation. Ticket is
tickets the
appeal.
appeal. There we go. So that's the appeal for visitors, and green is conservation. And the trigger for the end game is when our markers go around, and eventually the same color crosses each other, meets or passes. And when that happens, that triggers the end game. And at the end of the game, it's ultimately to whoever has the highest cumulative of those two tracks, but it's done visually. Okay, so we've got Ark Nova here, and I'm looking at your board. And if you just want to kind of talk us through what you're doing.
Sure. So my first move, what I'd like to do is, well, you know, I want to play this, but I need it to be higher level. And what I'm going to start with is a build action. And not for your sake, but for the sake of those watching, I'm doing this because in my hand, I know I have an animal that needs to be in a cage with size 4.
Okay, so you played a level 4 card, so that means with the build action, you can get a level 4 building, and that's what you're placing. And for your first turn, it has to touch the edge of the map, correct?
At the beginning of the game, well, this one is already placed. It has
That one
to
already
touch
touches.
one
That's
that's
correct.
already on the board.
Okay.
So I'm going to place it here, and the cost of this is 2 coins per space. So that's going to take away 8, but I'm covering up 5 coins. So it's really just going to cost me 3.
Okay.
I'll just put those to the side. And that is my entire turn.
All right. And now that we
slide these down. Oh man.
yeah. Oh, that's right. You got to refresh or slide them down the escalator. And for mine, I don't really see what I can do other than build in the beginning because I can't place an animal without a building. And I could play cards, but I don't know why. Now I have 4 cards in my hand. Is that allowed?
You should have 4 cards in your hand and 1 objective card.
Okay.
So at
I
the
want to
beginning
make
of the
sure.
game, we were just automatically dealt these because we're playing on beginner level. But
Okay.
normally in a regular game, you start with 8 and you choose 4.
Okay. All right. All right. So build, I'm going to do the same thing. Actually, I'm going to build. I've got a level 3. Nope. My build is at level 2. So I'm going to build 1 building with the maximum size of 2. So let's see. I've got it. So I could do a 2 or 1. I may as well do a 2. And just for fun's sake, let's touch the what's that building that makes us money called? A lookout
Kiosk.
tower? Kiosk.
Kiosk.
There we go. Kiosk look tower. So it's all the same. All right. So I put that there. So I have to pay 4 and I gain an X. All right. So I got to pay 4 money. And I guess I'll just put that over here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I pay the 4.
I'm going to pass the X to you. Okay.
Thank you. And the X, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can always use that to raise the level of one of my cards by 1. Since I played the build, I should have slid it down like that. And I think that I just do my refresh and that ends my turn. So this goes down to 1. And the other card, the animals, goes up 1. All right, back to you, Bob. Here we go.
Okay. So I did that build action because what I was setting myself up for was the sponsors action. I have a sponsor in my hand with strength requirement of 4. It's right here. It's an ornithologist. And from now on, each time a bird icon is played into any zoo, I'm going to get 3 money. Oh, and I got to slide all my cards down.
Can you say how sponsors really end up benefiting you in the game?
Yeah. So right now, this sponsor has a bird icon on it, and a bird icon really doesn't accomplish anything. But later in the game, I might have a condition where bird icons get me something. Or I might have cards that have bird icon requirements or something like that. So this is nice. I actually played it because of the benefit, because anytime a bird icon is played for the rest of the game, I'm going to get 3. But you know what? Into
Okay, so those are good
any
to play
zoo,
early.
I should say though, the rules say that whenever you take one of these effects, the card that you played is considered to have counted. So actually, I'm going to get the 3 coins, the 3 money, as soon as this card is played in the second paragraph of the first of the golden rules. And the golden rule number 1 is cards always count themselves. It says if the
Okay.
effect refers to an icon and this icon appears on the card itself, this icon on the card already counts for the effect. This concerns one-off effects as well as triggering the regular effects.
So it counts as a bird.
So it counts as a bird because, well, it's not that it's a bird, it counts as a bird icon.
Yeah.
Because the sponsor says each time a bird icon is played.
She became a bird. There's a whole story going on here. I do
Yeah.
see this. So back to me, I can play an association task. I'm gonna wait on that. And I'm gonna play an animal, although getting that sponsor early is nice. So let's look at here. What's my sponsor? Expert in small animals. Your cost to play a small animal is reduced by 3, which is fantastic. I don't have any small animals. Nope, no small animals. So I'm going to play an animal just for fun. All right. So if I want to do, nope, they're all too, oh, this one can go. I can play a llama. So let me put that out here. So if I play my animals card, let me make sure I can even do it. I'm in space 2, which means I can play 1 card. That's good. That means I would want to play my llama, which needs a building size of 2, which I have. I'd have to pay 10 money, and that's all that I can see. Is there any other restriction on that card that I'm missing? It's
Pay
North
10
America.
money,
It's
size
geek.
2. So you've just got to flip over the cage. There you go, to indicate that it's in there. And then may share the existing enclosure of another animal of that type. Oh, that's cool.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to put that up here. I don't think I gain any immediate benefits other than, do I get those 4? I just am calling them tickets here forward. They're called tickets.
Yeah.
So do I gain that immediately because there's no lightning on it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll go up 4 tickets, and I believe that's the bottom. So I'm yellow. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Admissions, tickets, entertainment. Okay, so I played animals over, and over. Back to you.
All right. So, okay. So now I want to get my own animals out there. And I'm going to start with, ooh, I thought I knew what I wanted, but
And you're in
yeah, I'm
place.
gonna go with it. Okay.
Still just
So
allows 1 animal.
this is an Australian pelican. And so the requirements on this card is that it has to be in a zoo space of 4, and it needs to touch 2 different water areas, and it costs me 13 money, but it has a bird icon on it.
Okay.
So I'm going to flip over this space 4. Oops. And it has a bird icon. So I'm going to gain 3 money because of my ornithologist.
Okay. And you get 5 tickets.
Oh, and I get 5 tickets. And I wanted to indicate that the 2 bodies of water that this area is touching are below and to the side.
Yeah.
And I will increase. What did it say? 5?
Yep. Oops. Oops. There we go.
Okay.
All right.
And then lastly, it says after finishing the current action, you may perform the build action. So as a consequence of this.
Okay.
Now, I gotta figure out what this icon next to the rock, this icon right here is. Do you know what that one means? Oh, I found it. It's take a card
Oh, it's the
within
graduation
reputation
hat,
range,
isn't it?
or draw 1 card from the deck.
There you go.
Oh, so if I cover it, I can draw from my reputation range. I guess I should see if I want the one with my reputation range. It's a Finnick Fox. A Finnick Fox would be all right. It's a small animal. So I'm going to do that.
Did you play your animals card already? When you
Oh, I didn't
first?
place the animals. Yeah, you're right. So actually my build would be a little bit stronger. Ooh. Isn't that right? Because I had build
Well,
at 2 and I
I
had
wonder
animals
because when you
at
play
3.
it, like you're supposed to just go slide it down to here. So I
Yeah,
think it still occupies the space until your turn ends.
yeah, but the Pelican card that queued
Yeah.
it says after finishing the current action. So that means it
So
has
it
to be
would
at
have
the
moved.
very end of the
Okay.
action. So
Okay.
everything would move over and I would have this situation. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm probably
If
going
you
to use
get
this
a 3.
space. I'm going to use it to get a Finnick Fox. So even though I have a strength of 3, I'm still going to use the strength of 2
Okay.
because I know what card I can place there.
Okay.
So I did that. I took the card from my
Yeah.
reputation and everything gets moved down.
Good stuff. So you now have the Finnick Fox in your hand.
And a new card comes out.
Okay.
That was kind of a
Grizzly.
complicated action with 2 things going one after the other.
Pretty cool. Okay. So does that wrap up your turn?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to try to do this sponsor since it's at a 5. Why not? So let's play the sponsor. Play 1 sponsor card with a maximum level of 5 from your hand, or break coffee X. Now, what does that mean to gain money? Break X amount of, it looks like coffee.
Which card?
Sponsor card. It's like a coffee cup with an
Oh,
X.
that means you move up 2 on the break track.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, break track. Gotcha. All right, I'm going to play my sponsor card. So let's pull up. Who do I have? I have the expert in small animals, and she requires a 5, so that's perfect. I'm going to pull her out, and I'll put her over here, and let's see what happens. Okay.
So that's just saying, like, for example, my Finnick Fox has a building size of 1 because it's such a small animal.
Right.
And so the whole icon there means that
Standard
when
enclosure.
you play a building size, like an animal with a building size of 2 or less, it
Yeah.
costs 3 less. So the silhouette with the
Got it.
exclamation point, that means you're playing it.
So that's not a cost that I pay when I play it. Okay, so I just put this
Yeah.
down, and I get the lightning benefit.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that means for every small animal you have, you go up 1 reputation.
Got it. Okay.
So it might not be good to play it. Well,
It's
you
not
need to
actually
play it
good to
now
play
because
that.
it's going to make small animals cheap in the future. But what's
Right.
interesting about that card is if you've already played a lot of small animals, it gives you something. So it's not like, oh, I've already made 5 small animals and now I'm playing this card. It doesn't do anything for me.
Right.
It would give
So
you
basically,
5
it has a benefit
appeal
either way.
either way. Yeah,
You just pick which
exactly.
one. Okay, so I'll keep that. That makes sense. so there's no actual benefits that's going to happen from that. So let's move sponsors down, associations going up, and back to you.
Sure. So if you look at your expert in small animals card,
Okay.
I did think this is really nicely done with the icons. So the icon that shows the single person silhouette with the
Yes.
exclamation point means whenever you do it. And if you look at um, the sponsor that I have, the ornithologist, it has silhouettes of 3 people with an exclamation point, and that means any player.
Oh, okay.
So any player bird symbol means 3 money for me. It's
So if I play a bird, then you get 3 money.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
which is like seems a lot better than the small animals one.
It
Because
sure
wouldn't you
does.
rather get 3 money anytime anybody does something than save 3 money anytime you do something?
Right.
I don't know.
We will see. Okay.
Well, we will see. I was looking at your board and not thinking about my turn. So if I do association, that's strength 4. The association board is up here at the top. And so what I could do is take one of these university actions,
Okay.
which is strength 4, but I'm kind of interested in doing Australia. Well, I don't know if I need that right now.
And you have
I
to
like
place a worker, correct?
I like this 5 card minimum. Yeah, I got to place a worker to do this, but I like the 5 card minimum because I have a feeling I'm going to get attached to my cards. And what's going to happen in a break is I'm going to have to discard down to 3. But if I take this one, I can discard down to 5.
Okay.
And that's kind of cool. But then again, my 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 cards, I'm gonna do the cards. You know why? Because once I see what my cards are, it'll make more sense whether or not I want to increase um, my minimum number of cards.
Okay.
And this is going to let me draw 3 and discard 1.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. I get to break 2. So I'll just increase this marker here.
Okay. So that's right there.
And then 3 cards are going to go straight into my hand. You won't be able to see this. 1.
Because you played, it was level 5, correct? So draw 3 and discard 1, or you get to snap. So you don't get to do both. Okay. And snapping means you can draw any one of these cards on display. That's the only way that you can get them without reputation requirements. And the break that he moved is this lovely coffee break over here. We started at 2. And whenever the countdown gets here, then we have a whole sequence of actions, some good, some not so good, that happen depending on whether you're playing a nice game or a mean game.
I don't think I want the Chinese water dragon. And so that would be my entire turn.
Okay, so that's what you discarded there. All right, then on mine, I can do cards or association. Cards are at level 4, so that would mean I could draw 2 to my hand without having to discard, and no option of snapping. 4 is actually a good spot for that. But I'd like to do an association task while I can. So I'm going to play that, which means I do believe I take my 1 worker that's available. And that's at level 5. So I take my little yellow cylinder, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, and I'm going to place it where I want it. And I want it on the 5 cards. So I believe I take that token.
Yep.
Okay, so I take that back to hand. Oh, not to hand, back to my board. And it looks like I place it on the 1, Oops, there we go. I place it on the 1, and then if I get another, it goes on the 2 and the 3. And the 1 has no benefit, but if I did that again, then I would gain the benefit of the icons underneath. Okay. All right. Pretty cool. I wonder, is there an option up there to gain workers? We'll see. Okay. Let me just refresh my stat there. And that's good. We've gone through all 5 of the actions now.
It's there's a lot to think about in this game because I've got these animal cards in my hand, right? I've got objectives that I can, earn points if I satisfy these objectives. But every animal has an ability that, like, kind of like my pelican did. So there's a lot of things to think about. Do I want to play the card to get the ability? Do I want to play the card because it satisfies objectives? Do I happen to have a card that's like the best of all, optimizes that? So I'll play the association action and I'll go here and I'm going to take.
And there's only one of each of those tokens, correct?
No, they get replenished after we break.
Oh, that's right.
But if I take something now, I could possibly take something that you want. Like you just took the one that limits the hand limit to 5 cards. And that's, I was talking out loud and I said I wanted that one. So now I can't get it until break happens, which is fine.
Yeah.
I have no idea if I would need to use the science right now. I don't have anything that has science on it. So I'm not sure if that's going to come up later and I need to have a lot of science, but I don't need science now. So the question I'm asking myself is, do I want to take the Australia partnership, or do I want to take a partnership with a zoo that's going to help me play my animal card? And I think I'm going to do with one that helps me play an animal card.
Okay.
So I'll take the Americas.
Okay. Which is what I wanted.
Oh, great.
Well done. Well done.
And then this is going to do a couple of things for me. One, it's going to enable me to play animals that are required to have partnership with Americas, and it's going to be 3 less to play such a card.
Okay.
And that's it for me.
I could do the Mangolika. All right. So how does the small animal thing work? All right. So it requires, I'm going to lay this on the table here so you can make sure I don't do anything crazy. Mangolika, I would need a building size of 1. I would need to pay 7, and then I get to carry out its ability.
No, I don't think that means a building size of 1. I believe what that means is in your petting zoo, you would need to use 1 space. And so, and the reason it's even written there,
so I need a petting zoo
because there are actually some large animals that take up 2 spaces. Like I saw that there was an alligator that goes into the reptile room and takes up 2 cubes in a reptile room. So that's why the number's there, but you can't play it yet.
Gotcha. So the petting zoo then is going to be that shape of building over here, correct?
It's this one over here.
This one right here. Okay. All right. So then I need to build first. So let me put you back in hand. Up to a building of 5. It's a little bit of a waste, really, but a lot of my hand revolves around the petting zoo, I believe. So let's move these 3. And it looks like it's already flipped, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. So let's do that. I'm going to turn and get money, and I'm also touching the lookout tower that's called something else. And I'm going to get 5 money. It's a lookout tower. My park is unique. So I gain 5 money for that. But I also had to spend 2 per space. So I had to spend 6. So I only have to pay 1. Okay. Oh my goodness, go to mine. There we go. And that's my discard pile. There we go. And that is the end. Back to you.
And then to be clear, this is like this in a lot of games, but you can't do the action if you don't have the money to pay it. It's pay it first, then get the money back.
Get the money back.
Add 6, and we've been doing that because moving these tokens is obnoxious, but for the sake of clarity, the discount doesn't count until after you paid for it.
Makes sense.
Oh, and oh no, I gain money actually from this too. It says break X and gain X.
Okay.
So I don't need you to break. I'm going to get 5 money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nice.
And that's exactly what I'll need in the next turn to play 2 animals in the same turn.
All right. Did that wrap up your turn?
I did. It did wrap up my turn. I'm setting up my money for my next turn, so
That
I don't
money.
have to.
Money is going to be the end of you. All right. Let's do. I kind of want to I want to make a break happen just to see how that runs. So I'm going to play my cards. Unfortunately, though, that means I'm going to have to discard, but maybe I'll get to refine my hand. I'm going to do it. Okay. So I'm going to break for 2, and then I'm going to do a snap or snap. Oh, I can't. So I can break for 2 and draw cards or snap. All right, let's do that. So first I'll break 2, and we'll just remember that we're coming back to perform that break action. But let me draw one of these for a snap. So I can pick any one of these. Let's see. I don't want birds. I like dinosaurs. That's fun. Spotted hyena. I wonder what the dinosaur means. That's a cat. I don't see anything
Whoa.
for a petting zoo. Adventure playground. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to take the. No, you know what? It's up there. It's going to take a while to come down, but you have North America. I need to get something. I'm going to take this bird into hand. I'll take the great hornbill just to do it. Okay. So I took that. That was my snap action. And now we carry out the break. If you want to walk us through that.
I think first we do have to slide down the cards to
Oh,
fill
yeah.
up your space.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first
Oh,
thing
and I
we
gain an
do.
X, right? For
Oh
anything
no,
else.
this is terrible news for me because you're going to force me to discard down to 3 cards.
Yeah.
So
Now,
I better.
do I gain an X though for landing on the?
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. Get your X. Let me pass it over to you. I got access to
If you
them.
don't mind, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
there
you.
you go. I was hovering right over it. Um. All right.
So
So
first we
you
go
have to
down.
discard down to 5 cards.
Okay.
I have to discard down to 3 because of the university partnership that you made.
Okay. And that does not include my objective, correct?
Yeah, the objective is not included in that.
Perfect. So I'm at 5.
All right. I discarded 2 cards.
Okay.
And then the next thing to do is something with involving tokens, but nobody has any tokens. So we can just skip it.
Okay.
And then the next thing to do, oh, this icon it's a good icon, but it's so small. Oh, we're going to replenish it. We're going to get our
Refresh.
workers back and refresh the associates section of the game.
Okay.
So we put out a new university tile and a new Americas tile.
Perfect.
And then the next one is we're going to discard the zoo cards on the far. How did that get flipped upside down? These are going to get discarded.
Okay.
And everything is going to move down, and 2 more are going to come out. If you move them down, I'll take out 2.
Oh. Okay.
And then everyone's going to do their income. So there's a reminder of all the income. You're going to look at your tracks. We definitely have to do that. So both of us get 10, you said?
Yep, because we're at number 5, and that has a 10 underneath it.
There's like a little indicator for everything that gives us money, I guess. So
Oh,
the
okay.
kiosk gives us some money for everything that it's adjacent to.
Okay. Gotcha. And then a pavilion. We don't have pavilions. Petting zoo.
Okay. It's not for the spaces themselves. It's only if the kiosk is touching those things. So it's for each unique building, special enclosure, occupied standard enclosure. So if it's touching a building that doesn't have an animal in it, it doesn't get money for that.
Right.
So in your situation,
I have two
you're touching
occupied.
two. So you took two. So you did it correctly.
Yeah,
In
so I
my
didn't count that.
situation, I don't even take one because my kiosk is touching a space that's not occupied. So
Okay.
I did need to know that.
Okay.
Okay. So the only thing I did wrong was I gave myself one extra coin, but fixed it and we understand the rules better now. Awesome. Well, I'm happy because now I have plenty of money and I can do my cool move. I'm going to do the Jaguar. And it's a size 4 animal.
Okay.
And it requires a partnership with Americas, which is what I have.
Okay. And then
And
cost.
it's a predator. So I don't get anything for predators. I know you were looking at that hyena thing. So if you look at that hyena card again, the one that had the dinosaur,
Yep.
what I had to look up what that means. When you play a predator, the hyenas go hunting, basically. The dinosaur icon means they go hunting. But what that means is translated on the text of the card. So it just
Oh,
means
okay.
reveal cards from the deck, and then you get to pick one to keep.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
I actually get to have it as a one-time effect when I play this card. So this one, it says Hunter 4. So reveal the 4 topmost cards of the deck, choose one animal card and add it to your hand.
Okay.
Discard the other cards. So, and these have to be revealed, which is, kind of important because you might look at the requirements of the card and anticipate what I'm trying to do.
Gotcha.
Just
And normally these would be hidden from me, correct?
no, it says reveal
No.
them
Okay.
unless it reveal the 4 topmost cards of the
Yeah.
deck. So it doesn't say reveal until you get 4 animals. It says you can choose one animal card, and I have none. So oh well.
That's kind of interesting. I wonder if that's a glitch.
No, I mean it's luck, right? Like I've there are games like Wingspan is like that, right? All of the
Yeah.
predator birds, like you
Yeah,
flip
that's
it over,
true.
and if it has a certain wing of a
And if
certain
it's
level,
not,
you
you
get
just
it.
don't use it.
You know what? It's cool because one, there's an objective card out here that's for predators, and I'm the first person to play a predator, so I'm on track for getting that objective, which is great.
Okay.
And then 2, I get 8 reputation, which is
Oh, that's great.
I'll take it. It's a lot of reputations,
Yeah.
or sorry, appeal. So I'm at 5, so move up to 13. The only thing I guess I wish I would have wanted is if I could have done this before the break, because then I would have gotten tons of income.
Yeah. And I sort of forced the break early just to see what it looks like.
And then I get to do another one because I'm using animal when its strength is 5. So I'm putting the Finnick Fox out there. It's
Okay.
another predator. And the Finnick Fox is a small animal with size 1. So I'm going to put it inside this little tiny enclosure. Oops.
Okay.
2 things selected. Counts as an Africa symbol. Oh, you know what I didn't do though? I was paying the cost for the Jaguar and I had my money set up here. So you can see I put 16,
Yeah.
but it's not going to cost me 16. It's going to cost me 13 because it's a partnership with Americas.
Oh, that's right. So you get that discount because of this token down here. And so you can still play the Africa card. You just don't get any benefit since you don't have that partnership, correct?
Yeah. So yeah, and that's because it doesn't require the Africa.
Right.
On the left side of the card doesn't say it requires it, but it does have an
Okay.
Africa discount if I did have it.
Okay.
But I don't, and that's fine. It has clever. So after finishing the current action, you may place any action card on 1. So I had to look up what that means, and I looked it up on the glossary. Like the glossary has a explanation of all of these individual abilities.
Okay.
First, I'm going to put my payment into the bank here, and then I'm going to get my 3 more reputation. 1, 2, 3. or I call it reputation. It's called appeal.
Tickets. It's called tickets.
Ticket. It's called tickets. It's called lookout towers.
There you go. Lookout towers and tickets.
Okay. So the when I looked up clever, the rulebook also confirmed what I suspected earlier, which is the end of the action means that animals is already in the one spot. And so what this is telling me is I can now choose any card and move it down in order
Okay.
to slide my cards to the right.
Okay.
And it is a you may. So I have to I definitely want to play cards because I had to discard so many. So I'm not
Yeah.
going to move that one over. I definitely want association because I'm sitting here collecting predators
Yeah.
and I want points for that. I think I need to build action
I think you're in the
because
right order. So let's play my little petting zoo buddy, Mangalika. And he takes up one space. So I assume I just keep track of how many spaces. Like there's nothing to help me tally that, correct?
no, you actually take one of the, if you don't mind, I'm going to touch your
Yeah,
board.
yeah.
You do this. Pop.
Okay, perfect. Um, okay, good. So we do that and I pay 7. So I'll get rid of 7. Where's my money? There we go. 5, 6, and 7. Goodbye. And then let's see what our benefits are. Choose up to 1 times. Discard 1 card from the display and replenish, or discard 1 card from your hand to draw 1 from the deck. Petting zoo animal, gain 3 tickets appeal for each petting zoo animal icon in your zoo. So I have 3. I mean, I have 1, so I get three more tickets. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to discard a card from the display. Why not? Let's get rid of the hyena so you don't try and take it. Discard. There we go. Slide that down, I believe, and replace. Did I slide the right direction? Yeah. No, I think I slid
Wait,
the.
you got to slide everything down.
Yeah, I went the wrong direction.
I got him.
Okay.
Let's
There
take
you
one.
go. That's much
Here,
better.
you can be the last one.
And that gives us a New Zealand fur seal, another nice looking predator there with a different icon, an elephant. So that's a level 2 ability, it looks like. It's got a number 2 on it. Okay, so that's there. Wait a minute, that
Almost.
was at 5. So I can play 2. Well, I'm just going to have to benefit you. So I didn't play that very well. I could have discarded, put a new one in my hand, but you get a benefit for this. So I'm playing a bird. I'm not sure why I'm putting stuff on 2 different sides. There we go. All right, so I'm playing the bird, so you get your benefit. I pay, I flip over my 3 and rotate. There we go. And it takes that little token. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. And I pay 13. Oh my goodness. Do I have the money? Of course I do. 10. I paid all that bird. It's got a Europe or Asia alliance, doesn't matter. Boost is build. So after finishing the current action, you may place your build action card on 1 or 5, and then I gain 6 tickets. 6 appeal tickets. I'm at 8, 12, 14, and I finish the turn, if I understand that right. So then I slide all of these down. And then I get to move the build to 1 or to 5. And I could use a 4. So I'm going to move it to 5. So those all go down and sponsors goes back to 1. Oh, well, that didn't work. Okay, boom, boom, and boom. But what I don't understand, it says boost. Oh, it's boost build. It's not an actual build action. Okay. All right. I finished.
Wait, so what did you do with sponsors?
So
So I had to
sponsors
look
was at 5, so I figured it has to go back to 1.
so I had to look it up because I was wondering what the consequence would be for that.
Yeah.
Everything moves to the left. So I
Oh,
think you
okay.
that
Okay.
situation.
Okay.
It says the other cards move to the right or to the left accordingly. So
Okay.
in that case, they would just move left.
So in the next one, if build had to move, it would move to the left.
Um, yeah, like if you were to move another card to the 5 spot using the boost action,
Yeah.
then it would create a space to the left, and so cards would move to the left in that case.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's a little different. They always move to the right, it seems like, but the glossary specifies. All
Okay.
right, my turn. So I have it in mind to get cards and break two. Break two. Oh, and I can snap. I wasn't thinking about that actually. Maybe I want to snap. Let's see. What kind of good things do I get if I snap? There's a bear. Wow. The bear requires predator tokens in order to play, and it requires the animal card at level 2. Boy, it's really hard to get a grizzly
Pretty
bear.
high. Yeah.
I think it's pretty neat though.
That is a good one.
Um,
I'll have to start looking at leveling up cards.
yeah, we haven't even seen that yet.
Yeah.
I don't think I like the snap cards actually. I would, ooh, but the monkeys.
Brown spider monkey.
Oh, it gives you more points. It gives you more tokens for primates, but it also gives you a conservation point. We haven't even scored
And
one
does
yet.
that require, it says require primate icon?
Yeah, so I don't have the requirements for that one either.
Okay.
Bummer. Ooh, the New
And
Zealand fur seal.
how would you get that requirement?
I guess you'd have to build another animal first. So the idea is that those monkeys don't do well in zoos if they don't have other monkeys to interact with.
Okay, so you would need another monkey that doesn't have that symbol. And once you have a monkey in your zoo, then you can play that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of really advanced cards up here. Like the New
Yeah.
Zealand, I think that's cool, except it requires a level 2 animal card to build. The Golden
Yeah.
Eagle requires level 2. So all of these things are like just tough.
Giant panda's adorable, but the few requirements there, you got to have a bear and a handshake, some kind of alliance.
So I am going to do the cards. I was just trying to decide whether I wanted to snap or not. So I'm just going to draw 3. Oh, I didn't break 2 though. Let's break 2. So 1, 2. And then I'll slide all this stuff over. Oh, that was clever. All right. They just made a big mess. All right. So I'm looking at my hand now. I have to discard one thing.
And there's still quite a bit we haven't touched the venom, the nasty effects here that happen during breaks, and we haven't removed a cube from our left side track either. So that's something I'll want to make sure I do next time.
I want to keep that. I want to keep that. I'm not really into this one. I'm going to put back this. There's a grass snake. I haven't really gone for the reptiles thing.
Okay.
So yeah.
There's that clever ability again. Yeah, so there's another option I have, and that is to not play any card, which would allow me to get another plus. I don't need to do that, and I need to remember that I have these pluses actually that could be useful. But in order to take away one of these cubes, what's involved with that? Do I have to play a card?
You use the association action, but association has to be all the way at 5.
Okay. And
So
what on the track helps me understand that? Or is it on the card?
sure. So go up to the associations area.
Okay.
See this section 5.
Yep.
So this means you're going to put
Oh,
a cube onto one of these spaces down here. So
okay.
In order, or by the way, when you level up that card to level 2, you can also do it on the left side. Put a cube there.
Okay.
But when you put one down, you have to meet the requirements. So 4 predators or 2 Australias or whatever. And
Gotcha.
then you expose the income for the rest of the game.
Okay.
Now, what we haven't seen yet. One of the first things there's 2 ways that you can upgrade cards right now. You can either get another university partnership. You see your level 2 section. So
Yeah.
that would upgrade a card. Or you could make a partnership with another zoo. That would upgrade a card.
Got it. Okay.
And
So
then I
we
think
just
there's a
need
few
one
other
more
sections on
building.
the board. Oh, whenever we get our conservation to the 2nd level, that upgrades a card.
Okay. Okay.
And I know there's one more, but I can't remember where it is. The rules say that there's 4 situations when you can upgrade a card.
Okay. All right. So that's good. So that would be worth it to let that association go up. Okay. No, I'm okay with the turn actually. That I just wanted to cover over that real quick. And thank you for helping me learn the basics of the moves. And let's actually play again with a full game. And I'll have a better understanding of what's going on. But I think I grasp it now, and the turns actually go pretty fast.
That's what I like about the game.
Yeah.
I love the speed of it.
So what drew you to this game? What made you seek it out?
Let me get over to the video. I haven't been looking at you the whole time.
That's all right.
Let's put this back so that you can see me kind of seeing you. What drew me to the game was that it keeps popping up on my YouTube stuff.
Okay.
It's all over the place. I was like, oh my goodness. And it's been hot on Board Game Geek forever. And it's popping up. I keep seeing it pop up everywhere. So I looked into it. Honestly, I looked into it a while ago, and I could see that it was another. Here, wait, I want to show you something. I have this game.
Oh, that's your shirt. Show us your shirt. Is that
Oh, yeah, sure.
yeah,
This is the t-shirt, like
that's the V-neck.
The V-neck, the full color V-neck. Yeah,
Awesome.
it's got a lot of games on it. Anyway,
Is that the one I'm supposed to get, or am I still waiting for?
No, I haven't made
Okay.
single color shirts yet.
Okay.
Anyway, I like this game. This is by Uwe Rosenberg, New York Zoo, and you can see that it's published by this same company. So when I saw that Fureland was doing another zoo game that was tile placing, I was kind of like, oh, come on. Like,
So it's the same publisher.
Yeah, same publisher, same theme. I was like, this, I don't want another zoo game by the same publisher. I mean, it's a different designer, but so I kind of blew it off. And also, like, the tile placing mechanic is I'm so over it. Like, I've done so many. But when I saw this come up again, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a video called Why I'm Not going to Buy This Game. So I was looking at the rules, and as I read the rules, I was like, is terraforming Mars with animals, right? Like, you've got these like one-time effects, you're paying for the stuff. There's no drafting, but there's a lot different actually in terraforming Mars.
No, see, I've never played
terraforming
Mars.
I mean, I don't know. I don't like terraforming Mars very much. Okay. I thought it had a lot in common with terraforming Mars, and I thought it was like, here's a game I'm not going to like, but because it's so much talk about this game, I'll play it just so I can make a bad review for it. And as I read the rules, I was like, yeah, I don't know. This seems so much more streamlined. I criticize games that have a lot of luck, and this definitely has a lot of luck. It reminds me of like Wingspan, right? Where you're like, oh, I hope I'm going to draw cards. I hope I get good ones. And like, sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. But what I like about this game is it plays so quickly that I'm okay with that. Like, I like luck when it doesn't feel like a really serious game, or like it doesn't feel deeply strategic. This is very much like, you have a few cards, you're trying to optimize so many turns in a row, and you're just playing the cards that you're dealt, but there's not a lot of upkeep. and there's not a lot to drag the game on. I'm not willing to play a game with a lot of luck if it drags on and on.
Yeah.
This is much better than Wingspan or Terraforming Mars because those games, they slow down. And
Yeah.
this game really doesn't do it. This game
The
is
only down that I saw, and it's not a gameplay one, is just it's just not very pretty to look at compared to some other games. But Terraforming Mars is not pretty by any means. I like the recycling cards on the bottom. There's another Kickstarter game coming called Rogue Angels that has a cooldown mechanic. It's kind of similar where your cards keep moving up the track as you play them. So I like that.
but the game is being released this month. So if you go to Capstone Games, you can only, I think you can still just pre-order it, but it's like $75. Ooh. I don't know.
Oh,
No,
so it hasn't been released yet?
no.
Wolf Games says scheduled release date March 15th, 2022.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm right. Second printing or first printing?
That is a fantastic question. I have no idea.
Because on Capstone Games, it actually says second printing. You know what it might be? It might be the like second printing as opposed to the Kickstarter.
Oh, okay.
Because I think this game started as a Kickstarter. But yeah, it's not even released yet. So I wanted to get ahead and figure it out.
So
Yeah.
far, do you think it's something you'd pick up, play again?
You know, I think so. I like the speed of the game a lot, but it depends on if it's going to go well with my gaming groups. I'm not sure. What do you think? Did you like it?
I do. I like it. There's still something. I don't know that I like it enough to beat out. But I want to do another play of it. Like I enjoyed the play. It looks like it was 2 to 4 players. So if it has but it must have a solo variant because I searched for it and there's solo. I'll have to look up on that.
It has solo, but the solo is not available on Tabletopia.
Okay, so
Something
that's
about
what
the
it is.
setup or the cards or whatever is required to
Yeah,
play solo, and it just doesn't have it on this platform. But yeah,
I like. I mean, it's complex and it's like it reminds me of like a level simpler than a Lacerda type game. Like it has that puzzle feel, but it's much, much simpler to grasp than a Lacerda game. I like the puzzliness of it. Art is really important to me. But the iconography is excellent. As long as I have my little icon sheet, they did a really good job with that. I can read, and that's where it kind of reminds me of like a Lacerda, or maybe more like Dinosaur Island or Dinosaur Park, like that level of difficulty where the iconography is great. I can read it, and I really like the pulling just the 5 cards. I don't play a lot of card games. Maybe it's that. I'm not too sure yet.
So the reason I like it is because it's simpler than I expected it to be. And because it plays so easy, I'm willing to put up with stuff I normally don't like. For example, I guess my caution is though that maybe it would get old really fast. Like when I bought Wingspan, I was really excited about Wingspan and I was intrigued by it. But then when I play Wingspan, which I really think this is more like Wingspan than anything else. It's like Wingspan if you had to actually put the birds in locations. But when I play Wingspan, people take these really long turns because they get these chains of birds and they're like, okay,
Right.
well, first I'm going to do this bird and there's that action. The next thing I'm going to do is this. The next thing I'm going to do is this. The next thing I'm going to, and you end up waiting and waiting and the game gets worse the longer you play. But on the other hand, I love Gizmos. Gizmos is so streamlined. There's tons of luck, but if it's so fast and easy, then it's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. This game is like it's so streamlined. You end up with combos that can be fun, but you're not having a long combo every single turn. And as the game goes on, it so does the frequency of how long your turns are doesn't change. It's still
Right.
just turns the entire time. And sometimes you're going to have really fast ones and sometimes they're going to be longer. But I like that game flow. And then it's interesting enough. Like I like the thinking about it and the planning on what you can do, but it doesn't have a lot at stake. You know, you can draw you can get frustrated. I suppose it might be crummy if we played the whole thing and I discovered like, oh crap, the whole reason you won is because I drew bad cards. I really hate that.
Right.
Um,
But
you know,
with, I think they mitigated that fairly well with your abilities to be able to draw cards, and then you've got the display that you can do the snap for. Like you can draw new cards so much
yeah,
that there's enough mitigation. And maybe it's also, I haven't played it solo yet, so obviously my channel is solo, but part of the reason is I don't really know if I like a game until I play it solo. So like Wingspan, I get excited when I play that. I love it, but I play it solo, so I don't have to deal with
perfect.
the waiting time. So
Absolutely.
so that could be, I don't really know. Like I think it was Bruce Lee, he said, you don't know somebody until you fight them. Well, I don't know if I like a game until I play it solo. That's when I get to know it.
So when you the thing with Wingspan, when you play Wingspan 4 player, it's like you're playing a solo game, but before you can do your next move, you have to wait for 3 other people to finish their solo turn because
Yeah.
there's so little interaction. It's like why am I even playing with this with friends? I just want to be by myself. It's a
Right.
game. It's a
And I
game that
think it must be, that
compels
makes
you to get
sense.
no friends.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, because solo, like I love it, but I never thought about that I'm always taking a turn. So it would be a little different if I was just sitting there and there's no purpose of interaction. And usually when I play games with others, they're more social games. Like the last one was Escape from the Aliens in Outer Space,
Oh,
or I'll do like games on sovereignty with their group. So they're more like social stuff. So I don't play a lot of games like this with other people. So, but I really liked like when we did Gallerist. So I don't know. I think I'd have to see this one solo, but the artwork, I just don't. The like the real pictures of animals and things like that. For some reason, I don't like that.
that is very true. I'm
Yeah.
looking at it right now. And I think it's so much like the cards are so much in the style of terraforming Mars.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Ben.
Where can
People
we
want
find the
to,
game?
yeah, people, well, no, where can we find you if people want to see your videos,
Oh,
see your
my
reviews?
channel is Board Game Dad.
Okay. All right.